Independent Angus King captured the Republican-held Senate seat in Maine on Tuesday, adding a dose of uncertainty to the fight between majority Democrats and the GOP for control of the Senate. King prevailed over Republican Charlie Summers and Democrat Cynthia Dill in the race to replace Republican Senator Olympia Snowe, who blamed partisan gridlock in Washington for her unexpected decision to retire after 18 years in the Senate. The Associated Press called the race based on interviews with voters as they left polling stations. In Florida, Democratic Senator Bill Nelson triumphed in his bid for a third term, holding off a challenge from Republican Representative Connie Mack. Republican groups had spent heavily against Nelson early in the race, but the moderate Democrat was a prolific fundraiser with wide appeal among Democrats and some Republicans in the Panhandle. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders won a second term in Vermont. Democratic Sense Sheldon Whitehouse in Rhode Island, Ben Cardin was in Maryland and Tom Harper in Delaware were all re-elected. Tennesseans gave Republican Senator Bob Corker a second term. King has resolutely refused to say which party he'd side with if elected, and the outcome of the presidential election and the final Senate lineup could influence his decision. Members of both parties have indicated that they expect King, the one-time Democrat who supports President Barack Obama, to align with Democrats. One factor could be the $1 million+ that Republican-leaning groups such as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Karl Rove's organization spent on ads criticizing King. Democrats currently hold a 53-47 edge in the Senate, including the two independents who caucus with them. Republicans need a net of 4 seats to grab the majority, 3 if Republican Mitt Romney wins the presidency. The caustic campaign for control of the Senate in a divided Congress was marked by endless negative ads and more than $1 billion in spending by outside groups on races from Virginia to Montana, Florida to New Mexico. The outcome in Ohio and Virginia was closely linked to the presidential race. Republicans and Democrats in Massachusetts, North Dakota and Montana hoped that energetic campaigns and personality would lead to ticket splitting by voters. Republicans were on the defensive in Indiana, where Tea Party-backed State Treasurer Richard Murdoch was locked in a close race with Democratic Representative Joe Donnelly. With 25% of the vote, Donnelly held a narrow lead, 50% to 45%. Libertarian Andrew Horning, the potential factor in the final results, grabbed the remainder. Murdoch had been considered the favorite after knocking out 6-term Senator Richard Lugar in the GOP primary in May, but he damaged